The first night they slept in my house, I stood in the hallway at 2:14 a.m., listening to unfamiliar breathing behind my walls, children laughing in the guest room, his mother coughing in the living room, my sister's voice, low and satisfied, drifting from my kitchen. My kitchen. I remember gripping the doorframe so hard my fingers went numb. 20 years. 2 decades of overtime, missed holidays, cheap dinners, and silent sacrifices had bought me this quiet. And now, without asking, they had moved into it like it had always been theirs. It's family property now, my sister said earlier that evening. Arms folded, chin lifted. We consulted a lawyer. It's decided. She didn't look at me when she said it. She didn't have to. Her husband did. His smile was thin, confident, already measuring the space. I told them no. They carried boxes inside anyway. That was the moment something in me went still. Not broken, not angry. Focused. My sister and I grew up sharing everything. Rooms, clothes, secrets. When our parents died, I was the one who stayed. She left, married fast, moved into his world. I stayed behind and worked. Paid bills. Fixed leaks. Took care of what was left. She used to joke that I was the responsible one. Said it like a compliment. Said it like it was my role. When I bought this house, she cried. Hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. You deserve this, she said. I believed her. Over the years, she visited less. Always needed help when she did. Alone here. A favor there. I never said no. Blood is blood, I told myself. That belief cost me more than money. The first red flag came 2 months after my final mortgage payment. I found copies of my utility bills missing. Then the property tax letter arrived opened. Then I overheard her husband on the phone, saying my address like it already belonged to him. I didn't confront them right away. I watched. I listened. I learned. They had convinced themselves that because I was unmarried, because I had no children, because I had enough, the house should stay in the family. Their family. He had spoken to a lawyer friend. Not a real consultation, just enough half-truth to sound official. They mistook my silence for weakness. I let them. Planning doesn't look dramatic from the outside. It looks boring, paperwork, phone calls, long nights reading fine print while the house buzzes with people who think they've already won. I pulled every document I had. The deed, the payment history, 20 years of bank statements. I hired a real lawyer, quiet, sharp, expensive. I installed cameras legally in shared spaces. Recorded conversations. Not arguments, assumptions. Him explaining to his family how the house would eventually be transferred. Her nodding along. I documented every utility spike, every unauthorized renovation, every instance of them presenting the house as theirs. And I waited. The court date came faster than they expected. They laughed when the summons arrived. Said I was overreacting. Said family doesn't sue family. They still brought their lawyer friend. He looked uncomfortable the moment my attorney stood up. That was when I knew. I watched my sister's face change in real time as the judge reviewed the documents. The deed in my name alone. The payment records. The lack of any legal claim, agreement, or inheritance. Then came the recordings. Her husband tried to interrupt. The judge shut him down. My sister started crying. Real tears, loud ones. She looked at me like I had betrayed her. I didn't look back. The ruling was clean. Immediate eviction. No ownership claim. No compensation. A warning about fraudulent representation. When it was over, her husband wouldn't meet my eyes. My sister finally did. You didn't have to do this, she whispered. I leaned in just enough for her to hear me. Yes, I said. I did. They had 30 days to leave. I stayed polite, silent, watched them pack up the life they had already started imagining as permanent. Watched the confidence drain out of the house box by box. On the final day, her husband tried one last time. Apologized. Said we could still be family. I handed him the printed court order. We never stopped being family, I said. You just forgot who owned the door. The house is quiet again now. At night, I walk the halls slowly. I sleep better. The walls feel like mine, solid, earned. I don't regret taking them to court. I regret believing that loyalty is always mutual. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it signs paperwork, waits patiently, and lets people destroy themselves with their own entitlement. They thought I was alone. They were right, and that's why I won.